For the record, that we invited Representative Ilhan Omar to this hearing. We left her 2 voicemails at the end of March. We've written 2 letters, one on March 13th and one on March 30th. We also sent an invite on April 15th via her scheduling portal, and we have not had any response.
Ilhan Omar was invited to testify at the Somali fraud hearing. She declined.
We're going to turn our attention to a discussion of the Feeding Our Future fraud. And we will have a presentation from the OLA, from a fellow at the Center of the American Experiment and the Department of Education. But first, I want to note for the record that we invited Representative Ilhan Omar to this hearing. We left her 2 voicemails at the end of March. We've written 2 letters, one on March 13th and one on March 30th. We also sent an invite on April 15th via her scheduling portal, and we have not had any response. And I do think it's very important to this discussion, and so I'm just going to reference why I wanted to bring her into this conversation, and I know my friends on the other side of the aisle are curious, but so there's a lot of talk in a lot of these reports about how the Feeding Our Future happened because guardrails were taken off the federal school nutrition program. And that is absolutely true. And the first time that happened was in March of 2020. And it was, sorry, I'm looking for the name of the law. But it was in the Families First Coronavirus Pandemic Relief Act, passed in March of 2020. And one of the elements of that bill was something called the Meals Act, which was Representative Ilhan Omar's actual bill that she got incorporated into this larger coronavirus package. And that Meals Act is what took the guardrails down on eligibility, on using the meals no longer had to be consumed on site. They could be for a group, not for an individual. And so the Meals Act really is what loosened the guardrails on the whole federal nutrition program that led to
The fraud.
the scandal we have seen that we now call Feeding Our Future, but was actually much broader than that. And
Right, because guys, now everyone has a group. Basically, you walk up there, say, hey, I need this here for this amount of people. It could be one person, but now everyone is a group. Does that make any sense here? While also being able to kind of pad the numbers on how much you're absolutely giving to the people. Because now, if it even is one person, say it's a group and charge the government. That's basically how that was working there, guys. Yeah, absolute fraud.
these are serious questions that I actually have for her and her staff, and I will send a follow-up letter after this hearing because I hope that they will respond, because it really does matter for understanding how we got here. And so because she did not respond, I thought it would be good to play a video where she, in her own words, is talking about the Meals Act. And so in lieu of her testimony, we're going to hear from Representative Omar herself from a video that she recorded for Somali TV, and it will have subtitles so we can all understand it. And that was from the spring of 2020. You can play the video.
dhalinyarada ciyaalkii iyo familkoodina ku taakuleynaayo cuntadaasaytii maalintii kaliyo safari waxay ay cunto siisaa.
The video has no subtitles. I don't know what she was just talking about here, but it has no subtitles. So we're going to cut that and get back to her talking, because I don't know what she's saying, bro.
Thank you. So as you saw in the video, she talks about using the Meals Act as a way to make it easier for families to get access to food during the pandemic. And I do plan to follow up with her staff or her directly if she would provide testimony on the record or in a written response about, why she brought that, how that actually materially affected the ability of restaurants like Safari, where this video was filmed, which was the #1 meal site sponsor in all of the Feeding Our Future site sponsors. They got $12 million, and they were later indicted. So I think understanding her role in this is very important for the history of understanding this case. And with that, I'll leave it at that.
Madam Chair, just a quick question about that.
Yes, Lee Pinto.
So I saw Congressman Stauber voted for that bill as well. Are you planning to bring him in as well, Madam Chair?
He wasn't the author of the bill.
Okay.
So I think she was the author of the bill, and she brought that to this larger coronavirus relief package. And so I think understanding her intention and her communication with MDE over that issue and with the Department of Agriculture and the feds, I think there's still many unanswered questions about that. So I look forward to following up with her office on that.
And Madam Chair, just quickly, I had the sense from looking at the video that her intention, it seemed pretty clear, which was to make sure that the kids are fed. I don't know if there's sort of more detail you're looking for in particular beyond that, but that seemed sort of clear to me. But I guess we'll see if she's got more to say regarding that.
I understand looking for the good in everything. I get it. But you have to understand that not everyone has the best interest in the taxpayers' dollars, okay? And specifically, some groups that do not come from places that have similar government entitlements as us.
Absolutely. So, yeah. And I do think that was at least her stated intention in the video, but the video was filmed at Safari Restaurant, which was now charged and convicted for participating in the fraud. And at the time in the video, she references 2,300 meals a day. They eventually got to, I believe, 6,000 or 7,000 meals a day, which defies understanding. And so they were clearly involved with her and her promoting Safari from the beginning. And I think understanding that relationship is part of understanding the larger context of how this happened in Minnesota specifically. Other states didn't see the level of nutrition fraud that we did. And so I do look forward to exploring that question. I think it's important for the history of understanding the larger context. Okay. So with that, we also did send an invitation to Attorney General Ellison's office requesting his testimony today. And he also declined to come, and he sent a letter which was publicly released last night at 5 p.m. So that was the first response we got from him, was last night at 5 p.m. And I had also sent a different data request to his office related to Medicaid fraud, which I still have not had a response to on March 6th. So the Attorney General declined to come, saying he had already testified once, and this isn't his jurisdiction because he doesn't have original jurisdiction in these cases, only in Medicaid cases, and that if we wanted to have prosecutions, it would come from the county attorney or from the feds, and so he really doesn't have anything to add. Although he hastened to say he is doing a small claims case today, so clearly he has civil jurisdiction in all of these fraud cases, and I find it incredibly frustrating that the Attorney General declined to come, because for today's discussion, when we're talking with MDE, he was the lawyer for MDE during this time. And so he absolutely had responsibility for advising and representing the state of Minnesota, and that he very disrespectfully declined to come and said he had nothing to do with this is unconscionable. And I'm very disappointed. It is beneath his office to have responded that way.
Like, it's seriously starting to seem like if you want to get off, right? Like, this is what America is turning into. Okay, understand this here. If you are going to be seen in front of a judge or a prosecutor at all here, it seems like if you want to get off, the easiest way is find out the political ideology, let's say, of the person, and then match it publicly. It seems like that's the only way we're going to be able to kind of move forward in this country. And that sounds like a very terrible place to exist within here, guys. I don't know what we're going to do, right? Like, I have no idea what we're going to do. The fraud that absolutely ran rampant in Minnesota during COVID specifically, right, was crazy. And of course, we didn't know. We saw large numbers, obviously. We saw large numbers going to places out of nowhere. Like, how did an entire community of people, get affected out of nowhere? Out of nowhere, guys. Make that make sense here. And understand also, in the region, specifically where Ilhan Omar is, there's like clan warfare still kind of going on here, guys, right? Like, they're picking sides based off of the clans that they once existed in Somalia. Bro, keep that over there, please. All right? You do not turn your host country, okay? Understand this here. Do not turn your host country into exactly what made you leave your previous country. Leave that there, Leave it over there, guys. All right. Like this type of thing also happens in Queens, New York, where you have people that are coming from like warring places, living in Queens, right? They may be neighbors, but back in whatever country they came from, they absolutely would go for each other's heads, guys. Leave that there. Hear me out before you guys bite my head off here on this one here. But Americans are soft, and we're soft because we really don't go through anything. Like we go through our like American problems, sure, right? But other places around the world, they go through things like for real. All right. Like even the poorest amongst us will equate to the richest on the world scale. Okay. The reality here, right? So, and coming from that situation or coming from, let's say the first generation of like people being born in this country, but their parents came from the same absolute terror. They're going to raise their kids in a very sharky manner. So while we're living our American lives, right, like guppies, okay, goldfish, there are people being raised, in fact, to be sharks here, right? They will, in fact, look for that in, get that in, and take advantage of that in. Specifically, money involved. And we're talking about money that doesn't even make sense to some of the people that are coming from some of these places. Compared to some other countries around the world here, you have the ability to make a yearly salary in a month, like working at McDonald's, okay, just compared to whatever country they came from. I need you guys to be aware of this here. Just open your eyes to understand that there are some people from some places, right? Doesn't have to be Somalia in this instance here, but it could be any other place that is war-torn, poverty-stricken, okay? Those places are creating some of the sharkiest, toughest people you will imagine because their life is tough, guys. While we're over here worrying about if they put 2 pumps of cream in our coffee, guys. All right? Guys, be aware. So do I doubt the idea of like Somali fraud in general? No, I don't. At all. Would I doubt the idea of, I don't know, Central African Republican fraud? No. Why? War-torn. Would I doubt the idea of Congo fraud? No. Okay. Do you get where I'm going with this here, guys? There are people that are looking for it in, they don't have to be specifically terrible people. They just came from places that made them exactly who they are here. But obviously, you know, personal responsibility is still personal responsibility. It is your fault if you're doing this craziness. The reality here. Ilhan Omar not coming, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, right? Like, give her like some type of congressional subpoena. The rules of engagement seem to be changing here. Like, how do we engage politically with each other? How do we? I don't know anymore. What are the rules now? What are the rules? It's a shame, guys. But it's a shame. I love America. Absolutely. Okay? I love America. I don't want America to be anything else but America. But America is no longer the America I grew up in, guys. You grew up in. Understand this here. Whatever it is right now is partisan and just like, I don't know, bro. It's offensive, okay? That's where I'm at. But all right, listen. You guys have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.